bombers, and almost 3,000 crew members died that night. In one night from the 6 Hanabus that were used. And when the losses were so great that all the crew members were isolated when they got back to their bases and separately debriefed to see what they could find out about it. And a number of them reported seeing black discs in the sky against the fireballs. And the only 2 weapons used by the Germans were a device called a Motorstoffel that simply is a beam, electromagnetic beam that interrupted the electrical circuits. And the second one was gasoline aerosols that were dropped ahead of the bomber fleet with the spraying gas, and when the bomber fleet flew into the gas cloud, it would explode and take 5 or 6 bombers with it, and that would take out another half a dozen bombers with them, because they were flying in such close formation that if the formation was disturbed at all, they ran into each other on the sides and backed into the ones behind. And our losses were horrific that night. But the interesting thing here is that the uncle said that all the Hanabus were removed from Germany within less than 10 days later. They were all gone and never came back. The tide of war was changing, and somebody took the Hanabus out. We don't know where they are. They didn't crash. We didn't capture them. We don't know what happened to them. But who can order a victory, potential victory, out of the hands of the Germans? Who can take that away from the staff planners there? Has to be somebody bigger than all the staff planners to order them out of Germany, and they didn't come back. They could have been used on the next carpet bomber raid again, and they didn't lose any of the Hanabus. And we lost 200 airplanes, bombers, in one night.
And your best sources for this information are?
The uncle, the father's brother that worked in the Kugelblitz factory in Warsaw.
And what are the names of those individuals? Are they still alive?
Oh, probably not now. They were older people in World War II. I was a kid in World War II. They were men, working men.
When did you first encounter this information?
Well, the Polish guy sent me a letter that his uncle, this is what his uncle told him.
And when was that about? When did you receive that letter?
Oh gosh, in the early 90s.
What prevented the Nazis from using that fleet in wartime?
I think whoever ordered them out of Germany and ordered the plants dismantled and taken out of Germany, frustrated. They controlled the course of the war. They allowed us to win the war when we might not have won it.
And who could that be?
I don't know.
Think about it for a second. Speculate.
World bankers.
Tell me a little bit about the world bankers and their influence on World War II.
The world bankers seem to control world politics for their own advantage all the time. And they create and stop wars as they need to, first of all, to establish a market for consumables, which they sell, because they control the money that flows. And it allows or stimulates invention and technical progress that they make money on. So I think that some place above normal government, recognizable government level, is another level of money interests that control the whole thing, and they decide who's going to win and who's going to lose, and they back both sides. They're making money on both sides all the time.
You've got the Manhattan Project going on over in New Mexico, but also there's a much more advanced atomic energy program going on in Germany at the same time. Tell me about the dichotomy there between what history tells us happened in terms of atomic energy development and what your research has uncovered.
Well, when I saw the pictures of the 2 German atomic bombs that were captured in the Harz Mountains east of Peenemünde, I had seen pictures of the Fat Boy and the bomb that was dropped on Nagasaki afterwards. The one was a fat